Friends, hello, hope you are well. I really do mean that. It is rough out there in those markets. Let's talk about what's going on here with Sofi. I'm going to be open and honest with you about what I am doing with my position in Sofi and really what I think is going to continue to happen here in Sofi. So before I say what I'm going to say, I want to put this out there and let you know I am fully confident in Sofi's future and very bullish on it. But right now, I'm a little bearish, and I'm going to explain why. So, yesterday when Sofi hit that 740, 30 something, their high, I knew that was before the Fed had come out and said, hey, this is what we think is going to happen. I figured, and I took a huge gamble. I don't think it was that huge, actually. But I sold my position in Sofi. I was like, I'm up. I'm going to make some money. Not a whole lot, but I'm getting out of this because here's what I think is going to happen. I think I think Mr. Jerome Powell is going to come out here. He's going to say, hey, not so great. Hey, we're not going to do this. And that's exactly pretty much what happened. We're looking at maybe one cut this year in rates. Maybe. And the market just fell. And obviously Sofi being a bank stock, that's exactly what it did. It just fell. I sold out of Sofi, but I'm going to get back in. But I do believe, and obviously I'm doing this to make profit, but obviously to grab more Sofi with already existing capital at a much lower rate. And I do think, and here's what I'm going to say, it's on the thumbnail, I think Sofi is going to go down to at least 650 here before we know it, and it could go to a high 5 here very soon. I don't think that's crazy to say. I really don't think that's crazy to say. And I know people are going to get maybe ticked off about that. And some people are going to agree and be like, yeah, you're probably right. But it's for a short term. And this is why when we look at the market right now, it is such a buying opportunity. I mean, there's so many deals out here right now that none of us have enough money to put things places. I mean, just the stocks alone, not to mention, my God, crypto, where you can put your money right now. I mean, it's like, I literally think we're in a situation where the slingshot is being pulled back and it's going to go off here eventually. We're going to have a bull market here. I don't know that's going to be this year. I think it's going to be more like in January when we see whoever's taking office, whether it's Biden or it's Trump. But I don't think we're going to see much this year, especially with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. So with that, bullet points here, I think the market's going to continue to take damage. I don't think we're going to have any good news here from Jerome Powell. I think every time we see him talk this year, it's going to be like devastating in the market. So it's just a time to buy stocks, and obviously bank stocks are going to take the most damage right now with all this inflation talk, this rates. Bank stocks are always the first one. They're the first at the line, and they always get hit first. I mean, it's how it goes. But obviously Sofi is still an undervalued stock. That's and I say this because I think people come on here. I know people come on here and they just rip me apart saying like, Sofi, it's going to be 20x this. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I think this year is a growing year for Sofi. Sofi is very attached to the market and what's going on with people having trust in it. Listen, there's a lot of other stocks, companies right now that are very, very attractive right now than Sofi. And that's just the God's honest truth. Look at what Nvidia is still doing. Tesla. I mean, we can go down the line with a lot of these AI stocks. Palantir. And then there's just other companies out there that are just, they're going to give you more right now than Sofi is going to give you. And people are aware of this. A lot of people are not going to have patience to sit in Sofi when they know it's probably going to take more damage this year. So that's just the reality of it. So with that, with this chart that I've put up here in front of you, it's nothing special, obviously, but I personally, I'm gonna buy back in here at like a low 6 or maybe a high 5 if we see that. If Sofi goes to $5, I am loading the freaking boat. I'm taking whatever I can and putting it in Sofi. I think that is easy money. Obviously, it is so undervalued at that point, especially looking, even 6 months from that point. Personally, I'm not buying SoFi above $7.50. I'm just not buying it. I think it's a waste of money right now. I think the best we could see out of SoFi with a turnaround in the market this year would be maybe $10 by the end of the year. And and I say that projection on, like, we're talking about war right now. We're talking about a few different wars. We're talking about inflation going up again. We're talking about who's going to be the president here in a few months. There's a lot of unknowns right now. And like I said before, what are the first companies, the first stocks that take damage with bad news in our, economy, and what economists go after first? Bank stocks. And SoFi is wrapped up right in that conversation. So I think SoFi is going to take more damage. So look at this 6-month chart right here. This isn't a very special chart. It's just a Google Finance chart. It's nothing crazy here, but it's just, it's meat and potatoes, black and white, what's going on here. Obviously, the 6 months that we've seen here, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be better. And SoFi has just continued to fall apart here. And this is with SoFi coming out with great quarterlies. SoFi, obviously, some backstory. I think most people know. If they don't know, here's a tidbit of bullet point backstory. SoFi took huge damage over COVID. I mean, huge damage, especially with the freezing of student loans, them being a bank, and just the world falling into fire chaos. So with that, SoFi, if COVID never happened, SoFi at this point would probably be like a $20 stock or more. Like that's probably the reality of what would be going on here. But we're still watching SoFi pull its bootstraps back up here and get back on the horse. And with inflation and economy that's not doing great, these are the results we're seeing right now. I don't want to make this a long, drawn-out video. I think this is pretty much a simple situation of what we're looking at right here with SoFi. SoFi is on the struggle bus because of where, the economy is, where rates are, where, Jerome Powell talking, investors putting their money elsewhere right now. SoFi as the company doing great. It's the stock side of it, and there's just so many more attractive deals right now for people to put their money into. Even crypto, there's a lot of things in crypto right now that are having huge returns compared to what SoFi is giving to investors right now. So it's very, I get it. And I say these things because I see these things, people talking about it in comments or just talking to friends, It's just the reality of what it is. I don't think it's mean to say. I think you just, as an investor, this is a situation where it's like, I want to be part of SoFi. I like SoFi. I want to say that I own SoFi stock. And I get that, and I get there's that relationship as an investor and getting emotional with it. I think it's smart to be in SoFi, but the situation of SoFi is that it's a tricky situation of, where you want to put your funds right now. If you have time and patience to just build a position in SoFi, I think it's a really smart decision, obviously. But it's a decision where you say, I have X amount of capital here, and I'm going to just store it in SoFi below a certain price. Mine is $7.50. But I would prepare yourself to see SoFi more than likely take more damage. We are literally one bad news story here in America, something terrible happening, to where stocks just fall apart again. Imagine if we had another blow up in the market right now. Imagine what that would do to a lot of these low end cap stocks, especially SoFi. It would be disastrous, but also a major opportunity. Selfishly saying that. So, friends, that's really my thesis of where I'm going with SoFi right now. I like SoFi. I'm very bullish on it, but I think it's going to take more damage, and I am selfishly going to buy into the bloodbath that is going to be happening with it. I think it's going to hit some low six here. It's already shown around 670, 660, and more than likely within a few weeks here, if we don't see something major change, which nothing should be changing as far as we know. We're gonna see stocks like Sofi take a lot more damage. It's just the reality of it. So best of luck. That's my thought. I may be ripped apart for this one. I don't know. This is what I think. Friends, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.